So I would like to welcome Mr. Derrick Barra with Mlem.
Woo! Thank you. All right, is anybody here from last year that remembers this? We got 1, 2, 3, wow, 4. I'm surprised. So yeah, the company's name is Mlemory. So it's the stupidest name you're gonna hear all day, I swear. But it's the sound onomatopoeia of your cat, your dog, or animal pet going. So they're just licking. So in 2023, I had my pet cat Gizmo passed away. Went through the whole process. My wife, it was heartbreaking. It was her first pet that had passed away. And went through cremation, got an urn made. And we noticed that I noticed, they're all drop shipped from China, which is like laser etching, maybe, if you pay like $100 extra. And they're all they're browns or ceramics, right? So they're very natural, tony colors, but they're not bright, colorful, joyful. They're made as like a memorial, but like more like sorrow, right? They're more on the unhappy side of things, the color schemes. And I was like, okay, there's an opportunity there. And I'm an engineer, and I was like, well, none of these options play videos. I have videos. I record lots of videos of my pets. So I was like, cool, I'm an engineer, I'll make something. So started in the process of making a digital urn. So basically the theming of the company is about celebration of life rather than the mourning process, right? Like pets are awesome, they're joyful, they're stupid, I love them. They do weird, zany, dopey things. And this is a brand that celebrates those aspects rather than just focusing on the sad part of it, right? So what I ended up making is something called the Mlemory Keeper. So that's it over there on the right. This is the actual one that I have over at my mother-in-law's house where his ashes are kept. So it's basically a box. You'll see later photos and videos that has a rear keepsake chamber that you pour like your ashes into, or a toy, or just anything else. It's a chamber. Put whatever you want in there. I did notice some people actually using this for their alive pets, which I thought was interesting because they basically like put kittens on here and they show the kitten photos. I was like, I guess that works too. I mean, it's a box. Do whatever you want with it, right? But it's customizable. People customize the top lines and then the icon, and they choose from different color schemes. They're all playful and joyful. So you can see here, this is like the photo version where you can remove the front plate with magnets, and that's the back. Over here on the left is the video version, so it has a video player. I originally made one myself using a Raspberry Pi, and I found it was cheaper to less than half the cost to buy pre-made ones from China. So even though it started off last year being like a whole 100% USA made project, there was no way for me to fabricate the screens or the chips I can't even do that period here in the United States. It's not even a question, right? It's just not, we don't have that here. I'd love to replace it with my own homemade PCBs and screens, but that's a whole different company. So that's not today. But anyways, yeah, it plays, if you guys ever seen a media player frame you can get for a Walmart, for example, that plays stuff off your phone, that's what this is, right? It's the same tech. It's Framio. It's an app on your smartphone. Okay. So it comes in a variety of colors. So interestingly, all of these colors are from the United States. It's made of a material called PLA plastic, but it's made out of corn, which I thought was interesting. But the benefit here is that instead of it being like a black or a gray that you get made with a press mold, it's made with 3D printers. And that gives me a wide variety of color choices and material types. So I get to choose really bright colors for the same cost. So you can tell here, there's no urn that looks like this. This is weird and unusual, and it catches people's eyes. So I went through the process of making a website. So it's mlemory.com. So it's a Shopify website. Started doing that, and then over here in the corner, they're not going to play, but it's user-generated content from micro-influencers. So basically, I worked with a company called Social Cat. You pay each influencer either a little bit of chunk of money, or some of them are willing to accept just the urn, and then they'll give you some content. And the content varies in quality. It could be complete schlock, like it's terrible, to actually useful. So it's like a 1 out of every 20 is going to be useful. It's a numbers game, right? I ended up charging $100 for the photo version that doesn't have a media player inside of it. It's just the guts, basically, without the electronics. You just put your own photo in there. And the $150 for the one with the media player, which is pretty much the same cost as you're going to pay for the media player in the real world. Like if you go to Walmart and buy one, it's going to be somewhere between 70 on sale clearance from China to like 150 to 200 for a high quality one. So I'm like right smack dab in the middle. And I have personalization and I ship in a week. So, and it's like specialized to being a pet. So I feel like I'm comfortably right in the middle. Like I still make some profit is what I'm saying. Like I'm not super profitable, but I'm profitable. You see some of the UGC content here. So this lady over here made all this, or these two anyways, but her stuff was actually good. So I turned it into like GIF animations for the website and for marketing. You can see it was opening up in the back. Use your phone and you see them scroll your fingers. And this little girl decided to use it for her cats who were when they were kittens. And then like now they're humongous giant cats. So now I'm at this phase. So finished all the normal production. It's not a scalable product. I still have to make these one by one, like with my own like printers, but I could redesign later for mass production. That would be the last phase. But you got to be able to market it and be profitable before you even care about scaling. Who cares if you can't make money? Why bother working on that last phase? So here's what I've learned so far about marketing. And marketing's hard. I didn't know if you guys knew this. It's not easy. So product photography. So I started off doing using a white box, taking photos at certain angles of the Mlemory keepers. And then back late 2023, 2024, I started using product photography services that AI could deliver at the time. And they were better than nothing. Better than I could do just like with a blank, like, Photoshop like by myself, right? Or and less expensive. However, this is 2025 Q4 AI, and it looks pretty good. It's you can still tell it's CG of some kind, but like it looks good. Who cares, right? Like it's past that point of me caring, right? So it gets you about 80% of the way there. I still had to go into with Photoshop and fix it because it doesn't get scale right, it doesn't get certain aspects right, but the lighting looks pretty good. So with a little bit of elbow grease, it gets you mostly there. It still hallucinates like crazy. Like sometimes it doesn't know the scale, so like, oh, it made it into like a handheld thing, like, or just like hallucinate like hands being in the picture or like random animals. It's AI, it does what it does. You're just rolling dice until you get something that works, but it's useful. Micro-influencers, these are the ones I was talking about before that made those little videos. They're good for feedback. It helped me test the system and show that I could like go from Shopify to shipping a product. They get the product, it's not broken. They like the unboxing experience. They're relatively expensive. It's somewhere between 100 to 1,500 depending on your micro-influencer to do a single targeted advertisement with them. You're gonna get mixed quality. And it's not always that the cheaper ones give you worse. It's just random, it seems, just like anything else in the world. And they get relatively low engagement because they're not large influencers. So even if you get like 500 views or scrolls on Instagram, it doesn't lead to any clicks, right? Because that's not the nature of Instagram. This is basically a brand touch point is the way to think about it. So that's something I learned is like, that's neat, but that is not the way I'm gonna make money. It's gonna be through some other means. Maybe I'll keep doing this in some way that's more profitable or more cost effective, but not paying 100 to 1,500 per post. That's crazy. Vets and crematoriums. So this is what I initially thought was going to be like the big winner, right? Go to the vets, go to the crematoriums, work out deals with them. That's really hard. You have to actually drive to every single one of these people and talk to them and shake hands and make friends. And I'm an engineer and I am an introvert, so that is the opposite of what I like to do. I like to solve things with technology if I can and at scale. That's what I'm specialized in. I'm an engineer. So I did this with one crematorium. They made 0 sales, and I was like, cool. Why do you make 0 sales? It's because they're not selling any urns. All their urn sales are, the area really matters. They're in a relatively poor area. So it's not just crematoriums and vets, it's also who are the market leaders and are they going after affluent people that have the extra cash to burn by buying an urn, which makes sense. You can't just target everyone. You're gonna have to build out maps of who you go to and go to them directly. So it's possible to do this, but I'm leaving this as like a last resort because it's a lot of legwork, right? It's gonna be a very slow burn for the company if I do this. Also, they make a lot more money if you just buy something from China for like 20 bucks and then you laser etch onto it because they sell it for 200 bucks. That's like $180 a profit, Like, why would they work with me, make 10% of the sale, and when I'm gonna eat the sale of their more profitable urn, right? Because if they choose my urn, then they're less profitable. So why would they work with me? Like, I'm a direct competitor to them. I'm not actually helping them in any way. Once I realized that, I was like, okay, this goes on the back burner. unfortunately. It sounded cool, but it makes more sense realistically to just move somewhere else. Direct to consumer is probably what I'm thinking. Google search, something I tried this month. It kind of works. You can about 20 clicks a day is what I'm getting. However, holy crap, that's expensive. $6 per click. And I'm sure I could do better with more fine tuning over time, but I'm gonna pause this campaign immediately because I'm burning like $100 a day, right, on ads. And it's not leading to anything, right? Because these people are browsing, they're adding to cart, but they're not like making the purchase. They don't have enough touch points before they reach the brand to really say, this is the one I'm gonna go with, right? When you're spending 100 to 150 on something, even though it may not be a lot of money to some people, for most people, it's that barrier of okay, now I gotta think about it, right? You gotta remove all barriers to thinking about it, get them to actually hit the buy button and have some reason to do so. So Shopify store, it's very pretty. I made a very pretty store because I make content. I'm a production and engineer, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make sales. So making something pretty does not the same thing as making something that it leads towards getting people to click on something, add to cart, buy, right? That's not the same thing. 50% of people are on iPhones, kind of makes sense. I didn't write it down here, but they're mostly female. It's 38 to 45 to early 50s. And yeah, no conversions. So I got to work on my product photography and my videography, right, in order to boost that up. Social media, I said this before, it's a brand touch point, but people aren't going to directly go to your website from there. And what I've read from other people who are doing this successfully is they're basically at 4 posts a day, which is crazy. You got to have some system in place to make this work. So here's my plan. I am going to upgrade all my photography and videography with the latest upgrades of what became possible just this month. It's already starting to look way better than what it was. And I'm going to go in more stores. So I already started this week putting it up on Etsy. So I'm also going to go on eBay, Amazon, basically just add more places to the funnel for people to see it. And that should help out with SEO as well. There should be more searchability. Social media. So I had a influencer that told me they had a story of her cat named Aang, and Aang saved the family from a snake in the middle of the night. So I was thinking, well, I could take AI, assuming it gets better, right, and generate the stories in an animated format, and then share those in social media. When then, imagine a samurai cat defeating a snake, right, in battle. Short form video, 7 to 10 seconds long. Zoom out when the battle is done and it's playing on the Mlemory keeper because it plays a video, and that's the ad, right? Theoretically, you should be able to generate this stuff over time through scripts and just test each one each morning to see which one, basically make sure they're good. You have human verification and checks, but this should be automatable, which gets to that 4 posts a day concept. Other way of doing it is trending pets. Same thing, you show pets that are trending on social media, and then you show them playing in your Mlemory keeper. You'd have to have some way of giving people a discount or an affiliate code so they make money every time you use their videos automatically, because you don't want to just steal content, because don't do that. But it's possible to make cute videos that are a couple seconds long for social media and make it a brand touch point. That's where I am. So I'm still working on the marketing side of things and trying to figure out not the product market fit, but the marketing angle and what direction is going to lead towards sales. But if you want, there's a QR code, brings you to the website. Feedback? Questions? Go ahead. All right, I'll keep this.
Hey, good to see you again.
Hey.
Happy that you're still continuing this project. But my question is, do you think it's a vitamin or it's a painkiller, your product? Or
it's a vitamin.
To paraphrase, how did you validate your hypothesis that it will be profitable?
I didn't. So
you did not?
No.
Okay.
So what I did is that I initially started this project as something for my wife, right? And then once it passed the wife test, I was like, cool, let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice. I have extra time in between my contract projects as an engineer normally, so I use that extra time to just roll the dice.
Yeah, as an engineer, I think I understand. I mean, you have your background, and I think we can talk that language. Did you have a chance to look at the mitigating those fundamental issues with AI, like hallucination, catastrophic memory, things like that?
Yeah.
Or did you just stick with the existing APIs and?
I use the current APIs and basically just limited myself to what's currently available. And then every couple of months, I check to see what new functionality is available. So it's not me automating the systems yet, because that still doesn't really work very well, because you're going to waste a ton of money doing that. It's me just manually making the product photography photos and the videography, right? And then choosing the best. So every time I'm paying $5 for a dice roll with the AI, I'm choosing the best ones, right? And then modifying them. I'm not doing this fully automated yet.
Oh.
It would waste so much money.
Yep.
Good? Oh yeah, I gotta wait for the stick.
Go this way and then back.
Hi.
Hi.
Great presentation. It was
Thank you.
wonderful. I wondered if you have used the Data Axle Reference Solutions database that you can access through the library, because it has a section where you can select cultural lifestyles, which would include pets. Like I can get a listing of people, name, address, zip code, household income, and they have pets.
Oh,
And I could show you how to do that.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she only charges a small fortune.
It's a library card.
It's a library card. Yeah, I figured.
Everyone can access it with their library card.
This is fantastic. What you're sitting on a gold mine,
Oh, well, thank you.
okay? You're using a lot of time and engineer. You can be engineer or anything. You have amazing thing. I know this business a lot. I was in charge of the pet food division, okay? And I had 230 dogs in the kennel, and 20 cats, and 12 monkeys, and 4 veterinary doctors. I know inside out. We'll talk about it. You command value.
Thank
And
you.
you have to talk very little. That speaks for itself, what you have it. I will help you with one slide and 1 minute elevator pitch.
Okay.
Without that, you don't move. That's where you start, and we'll go from there, okay? There's a lot of help here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Got it. Thank you.
Great presentation. So I need to preface this by saying I am not an animal person. We don't have pets. I know. Sorry, y'all. I'm a nice person anyway. That being said, I have a lot of friends who have pets, and I totally understand that they're a member of the family, and it's a big thing. So whenever those pets pass on, I always want to like get a card or something because I have no idea how to console a person who's lost a pet. So have you, from a marketing standpoint, have you given any thought to having some channel that's like meant for not the person who's lost the pet, but as a gift for someone else? Because this would be a great gift that I would give to somebody as a memory of your pet whenever I have no idea what else to do other than buy you a card.
Yes, I think I would go through the channel of making a gift card, like a section of the website. You buy a digital gift card, email it, send it. It makes it easy to do that. Choose the animal you want on there, or if you have a photo, upload the photo. So it's the pet, right? There's a gift card for it, and send it that way. On my side, I can generate a digital code that gives you a free Mlemory keeper, right? So it's just a matter of them using the same coupon code. So really, that's all you'd be buying is a coupon code, and then the person utilizes the coupon code.
But if
So
I wanted to design the box for my friend,
if you want to
theoretically-
design it for the friend, then you would just do the normal process
Right.
and just send it to their house or to your house. If you wanted to do a gift card type of idea, that's something I haven't implemented yet.
okay, just
But
go
yes.
from I want to get, because I don't want to make them do work in the process of them losing a pet.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from just
Yeah.
going to the site and buying it.
But I mean, is there a way to market it for looking for a gift for it's kind of like a gift thing?
I looked at that when I was doing the initial SEO with Google AdWords, and there are some people searching for gifts for pets like that very recently passed. The AdWords campaign I'm running right now will end at the end of the month. I'm going to see how those keywords performed. So it's possible that's a good idea.
So I wanted to make mention on and there are probably better social media experts here in the room than I, because I haven't got to this level, but my understanding from friends that I know that are doing stuff like this, the 4 posts a day hurdle is they make 300 posts in advance and have a virtual assistant at $5 an hour posting those for them 4 times a day, so that they don't have to run those down. So there's fairly simple solutions to that. Don't feel like but understand that those people are not making 4 brand new posts every single day. They have hundreds and hundreds
Slice
stacked
content.
up and ready to go, and then they're 6 to 12 months ahead of their cycle.
Yeah.
So that's and by the way, you can also with your AI model, you can make an offshore virtual assistant for $5 or $10 an hour. Find somebody who's great. You have to talk to a bunch of people that can be your human eyes that's not you.
Yes.
And feed them AI posts and say, put the good ones up, throw the bad ones away, and then keep an eye on that process, or even have a filter of like, you approve today's post before they go out kind of a situation to solve for that level of effort. And then the question I want to pose to you is really a thought question that I don't have an answer for either, but maybe you know. I see what you're saying, that there is a huge desire in the pet celebration space, but it seems like there's a disconnect in people wanting specifically pet urns, because you can already see some of your users have taken your product and gone a completely different direction in it. So maybe the question you need to think about is, what's the most profitable thing you can do with what you already have that's in the pet celebration space?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you brought up gifts before. That's on the same line of thinking. The answer is I don't really know yet. I'm so early in the exploration phase that like I've thought of these things, but I haven't spent the time to really implement them yet. With the second I find any angle that works, I'm going to shoot for it, right?
So
yeah.
really, really quickly, could you go with AI in like 3 minutes? Could you come up with like 5 questions that you send back to the influencers that have already been using your products that ask that question around how could this be better, not as an urn, but maybe something else?
Yeah, I still have that database that I paid for, so yeah, I can reach back with them. It's about like 20 to 30 influencers. I paused that campaign because it cost me money to run it, but I can still contact them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah.
Fantastic. What you're doing, you're on point with so many aspects of what you're doing, and creating a memorable brand, and you know, everything about it's so good. One thing as far as a thought in regards to kind of what he was saying about systematizing, I would almost think of content curation as far as when you're working with these micro influencers and people. For me personally, there's a point where AI videos become more of a distraction than an attraction. And so their attention is not necessarily the goal. Attention to what is going to help the sale is the goal.
Yes.
And so there's a point where just attention alone can cause a distraction. Something that could be, you could consider as an alternative route and kind of A/B test with AI videos is for the influencers that you work with. Be like, hey, if you could send me like a few like 3 to 5 second clips, and then if they have those clips and they have their story, you can create essentially like a mini testimonial and a mini, even if it's not the exact thing that they show on their memory keeper or Mlemory keeper, you could create like kind of testimonials and prototypes of this is the person, this is their pet, and then you have like 3 to 5 second little videos or whatever, one 8-second video.
Yes. So
that you do kind of as your onboarding process, so it kind of is like he's saying, kind of like you're just getting the content and then you can curate it when you're ready to share it.
100%. So when I was running that campaign that I paused recently, it had usefulness because it was giving me reviews for the website, which is good for trust and proof, right? And then B, I was starting to use it to, like, every single time somebody got their Mlemory keeper, they would get a Google Drive link and they would upload photos and videos of their pets. And you don't know what quality is going to be, right? That's part of it too. It could be crap, it could be good. It could be horizontal instead of vertical, or vertical instead of horizontal. You have no idea what you're going to get. But they'll give you something usually. And then if it's a numbers game, eventually you're going to get enough content to turn into posts. So I did find that there was about 50% of people will give you high quality or decent enough photos and videos. And then it's a question of you got to utilize that and turn them into stories for your social media. So you do have to spend the time, right? You're going to have to curate that yourself. But yes, it is a thing. I did start down that process as well. I didn't include it in here for whatever reason. But yes.
And if you think about the post more as like a testimonial than just content, that a good one you can repurpose and reuse over and over, and find which ones connect.
Yeah.
And resend them, repost them.
Yeah, my current high-level plan is get to the other stores, improve my product photography and videography because it's my current workload. I'm working on that, and then hit back to social media for round 2, right? Get back to it and start doing the A/B testing. I'm not sure which one of the tests I'm going to run first, but one of them. So yeah, that's the current battle plan for 2026.
Perfect. I'll ask while I'm walking. Have you talked about talking to the veterinarians and stuff? Have you looked into joining like a veterinarian organization?
Yes. So it costs about $5K to join one of these organizations. There's one that I was talking to that would give me a direct link to crematoriums, which was nice for pets. The question wasn't that I couldn't join them and get social proof that I've joined them. The question was, can I provide value to them? So that was unfortunately the part where it got harder for me because I'm directly eating their sales, by making them less money per urn sold. That's not good for them. It had to be an upsell. Like if I come up with a product that's an upsell to the current existing urns, like maybe figurines of pets or something, that still makes sense for celebration. That would make, because it's not currently sold. There is nothing like that. I think a different type of product that doesn't directly compete against existing sales would work well for those channels. Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick recommendation, because I deal with like the Georgia Dental Association and other associations like that. If you can become like a preferred vendor with them, then that gives you the opportunity to walk into into a location and, hey, I'm a preferred vendor with, I just wanted to stop in and see if we could schedule a time. And
Yes.
that opens a lot of doors and will give you a lot of traction that right now you're not going to get just walking in cold off the street.
Absolutely. I mean, those social proofs really matter for those specific industries, right? If I had one for the crematorium, pet crematorium, I had that badge. Like you said, you show up like a sheriff, be like, hey, I'm one of you. I'm not some random person. That gets you a lot farther. But yes, you still are going to have to do your cold phone call before your introductions. Like it's a whole battle plan going into one of these places. What I found for the vets is that a lot of them are owned by conglomerates. So you basically have to get in with a conglomerate and then become their partner for this aspect, right? And you better make them money, because why would they choose you if not? So, yeah.
Yeah, I was curious. You said your click rate was $6. Is that because of a low conversion rate, or
No, it's so I.
And
this
can you
campaign's-
improve that? Because it seems like my click rate should,
Seems high, right?
Well, I was thinking maybe you just had a real low click through rate, but
High competition, I think, for the keywords. So I'm testing.
I guess my other question for you to take is I was curious if you considered if you're going to do variations, would you consider like a rewards crowdfund, if that would work for you?
Of rewards, what? Say that again?
Rewards crowdfunding, where you put the product out there and get pre-sales. It sounds like
Oh, like a Kickstarter of some kind?
No, it's a rewards. Any rate, maybe the first question be.
Yeah. We'll talk after, because I've never heard of that, so I'd be curious to see what it is. But in terms of click-through rate, yeah, it's high. When this campaign ends, I'm going to go through and prune out the keywords and see if I can get keywords that are just far less. Even if I get it for $1 a click, is a 6. That's 6x return better. I have to see if I can, with the current photography, videography, if I can get like 100 clicks. Do I get to one sale? Like, where is that number? How many clicks does it take? Or am I getting, even if I get 1,000 clicks, do I get 0 sales? Like, how far off from reality am I, right? But at $6 a click, I'll go bankrupt in like 2 seconds. So,
Let's have a high conversion rate.
yeah, which I don't. So,
So the first thing I was going to think of was, have you studied how the successful campaigns on social media are performed?
Yeah.
And you understand the steps and the processes that are in place in order for those to be successful.
I did see a campaign that I took to heart. It was a pet memorial light. So you plug in a light to your wall outlet, and they have a lithophan, which is like a printed picture of your animal, and it lights up. And it's a little memorial product that you can buy from them.
Right, but
They did
I wouldn't limit myself to just something in your industry.
I
A
didn't-
successful one is a successful process.
Yeah.
So you follow that process, you'll be successful whether you're selling toothpicks or urns.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the lithophan one did have a good social media strategy where they were showing animals and pet parents being sad. So immediately like tugs on your heartstrings first like millisecond, right? And then right afterwards they're selling the product. Like, okay, this is what I got for the person that pet passed away, right? And that's their content every day. It's just that same type of post.
Right.
And they were not a pet celebration brand, obviously, so they're going after the sorrow. But it works for social media because you stop scrolling. You're like, oh, what is this? Like someone being sad, I'm immediately emotional.
And with regard to the name, I consider that to be more of a barrier, all right? Because you have an education process that you're inserting into the customer acquisition process that you shouldn't have to do,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So you can still keep the name and all that, but what I would put out there is a word or a phrase that connotes the value, the true value of what you're offering people, and use that. And then, brought to you by Mlemory or whatever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So actually, let me go back to Etsy. I know we're probably past time, and if we are, then I'm sorry, and I'll be done in a second. So what I started doing with this post is I started, instead of doing Mlem, colon, blah, 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 like Memory Keeper, color, now it's, custom pet, or digital photo. I'm trying to start the text.
That's not a value.
True. This is basically copying what other people are doing and testing it. But you're right, it's not a feature, right? Sorry, it's a feature and not a value prop, right? Or the emotional value. This just got generated yesterday, so I'm not sure if it's going to lead to anything. I could also try generating duplicate products that have different keywords, right, as their names, and see how they perform. Where it goes after like the emotional aspect, or like what you're going to get out of it, to see if that performs better. But typically, the way that these stores work is that the names are what you search. So it's part of the keyword search terms. So if nobody searches for the emotional aspect of it or what you get out of it, then it just will never appear. No one will ever see it. So at this point,
There's ways around that,
yeah. So the answer is I got to test. That's the best answer.
Okay, so what can we, as the Orlando chapter of 1 Million Cups, do for you?
Uh,
I was gonna make a comment.
okay.
If we're over time, then
Yeah, we were past.
I'll talk to him after.
Okay, way past.
Okay, sorry. Here, I'll get to the end. Be here next year when I inevitably come back and show you success or failure. That's the easiest answer. I mean, heck, if you want to visit the website and give me feedback after this, like that doesn't hurt, right? I have some ideas of what I'm doing, but that's just immediately useful. If you want to talk to me, grab coffee at any point, that's fine. I don't drink coffee, drink energy drinks, but I'll drink energy drink while you drink coffee.
Don't forget the video.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
give this to Phil.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, thank you, very good.
Good job.
Okay, so Mr. Phil Kelsey with Lifelog.
Okay. Okay, my name is Phil, and my company is called Smart Cities LLC. And I'll tell you, I've been traveling around to 1 Million Cups around Central Florida and speaking. It's been a great experience. I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I highly recommend it. I did everybody else first, and I came here last because I saved the best for last because this is my home chapter. And my background is real estate investing, a career in local government. And then because of various health challenges I've had, like maybe a lot of us have had, I've become very interested in preventative type medicine and diet and exercise. So my areas of interest are, or what I plan to do with my company is to have design solutions around API that consume API and the blockchain. So what I'm doing, what the MVP that I'm presenting today is a journaling app, as you can see, and it consumes AI, or it utilizes AI. So what you do is you speak in throughout the day your various events, such as what you ate, what you exercised, and etc. And the app summarizes what you say and saves it to your device and assigns a category to it. And this is done so that subsequently you can ask questions of your favorite AI, whether that's ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, but now with a lot more context. So that was perhaps maybe a pain point I saw, that I would ask questions of AI and I'd have to reset up. So this is a place to save your unstructured data, or your data, and to be able to use that in any AI app that you have. And I'm going to say this is a very simple MVP. It's not meant to replace Garmin. It's not meant to compete with MyFitnessPal. It's meant to be just a very convenient place that you can enter your data, speak your data in either on your phone or on your watch, and have it record throughout the day. And so where I'm at with the business, well, I guess I should have switched. Do we have it? That was what I was talking about. We'll just go to the next one. Okay, so where I'm at with the business is I've taken my MVP and I'm trying to do, or I'm in the middle of doing a very inexpensive marketing campaign just to see if there's a demand for this product. And so what I did was I completely removed all cloud access to it. So all the data is just saved locally, and I made it free to use. So it's removed all onboarding, no account gets signed up, and basically it's plug and play. I want to remove all barriers for anybody to use it. And I split my initiative, this marketing campaign I'm doing right now, into two cohorts, an Android cohort and an iPhone cohort. And I went with a very cheap budget, just $5 per day, bought me an amazing number of clicks and amazing number of impressions. In 2 weeks, I was up to like 34,000 impressions. And I was very encouraged because I received a very high click-through rate, and the people that saw the ad clicked on it. And they also went on to give me a very high conversion rate. In 2 weeks, I had 2,000 installs on Android. I did stop the campaign, though, because of some technical issues. But it did tell me that even though these people were not necessarily opining on my app, I did test the concept that, as you probably know, people are interested in apps that consume AI. And probably when you piggyback that with health related or journey related, it gets people's attention. So I was able to get some positive feedback there. You want to switch to the next one? So the first thing I did was I called a smoke test. And this is kind of just reiterating what I just said. And again, my impressions, very high conversion rate. Because I've already said this, I should have went to the next ad. But that was that was a way for me to just prove the concept. Okay, can you go to the next one, Jim? So this gets to the part of my presentation, or every One Million Cups presentation, where you're asking, well, what can 1 million cups do for me? And what I'm trying to do is, I use my ad campaigns to quantitatively test whether there's interest and where the product's going. But even though I had roughly 5 to 6% of the people that the ad rendered on their machine installed, that still leaves 95% of people who said no way. So the problem is you can't talk to those people. It'd be great, but you can't. So I come to 1 Million Cups in various places looking for my qualitative type feedback. So that's where I'm here today, asking for your impressions on the app. Do you think it's too difficult? UI, UX recommendations. Would you use it? Is it contagious? Would you recommend it to your friends? Realize right now it's an MVP. It's a brown paper wrapper. It lacks the hooks. It lacks the contagiousness. It's just a rush to market to try to get some initial feedback before I spend my entire bankroll doing it, as some of us have done. So I very much appreciate it coming out. That's my presentation. I look forward to your questions.
There you go.
My very simple answer to all your questions is yes, but not yet. Because immediately when you started describing what this was, this is a literal wish I have in my life, because I don't even know how many daily metrics I'm tracking on myself in probably 3 or 4 different methods. So I have 6 non-negotiables in my business that I've been told to track every day. I have self-improvement that I'm tracking every day. I have fitness I'm tracking every day. I have diet I should be tracking every day that I'm not. And part of the reason that only the ones that are the easiest and the most important get done every single day because of the barrier to entry in that, because they're all in a different app or location and they're all over the place. I have monthly production we're tracking. I have results we're tracking. And some are Google Sheets, some are notes on my phone, some are, I love the Lose It app because it works very well with how I like to think about my nutrition. And it was for about a year really great. And I was disciplined in going in it every single meal and typing in what I was doing. But now I'm at the point where I wish I could just tell AI, I did this, go tell everybody else I did it, and record it in all the right places. So I know you're not there yet, but and honestly, I wish we were at the point where AI would just build it would know me well enough. And it started to, like I'm having conversations with Gemini where I say, this is me, this is how I think, this is how I feel. Motivate me, drive me, discipline me, tell me what I need to hear in the way that I need to hear it so I do something about it. And it's literally just 2 days ago brought me to tears. Like it was so spot on with my psyche. So I think this idea is amazing. At this level right now, what you would do is make things worse for me and not better, because now you're putting a whole bunch of unstructured data somewhere else that I have to deal with. But your idea is very solid, and for me as a user, I would not want to get involved until you could connect to the things that I'm already using. Does that make sense?
Well, it's yes, and thank you for that comment. It is meant to be a one-place stop, though, so that you can, instead of, now, OpenAI has made the statement that they don't want to state, they're pulling back. They don't want to save that much structured data. It's not really what they are. They're not a data store for you like you do your emails and your, and so, and even so, I think that to put that sensitive type data, whether it's your health data or it can even be your tax data, to have to duplicate that across Grok, Gemini, OpenAI, you may not want to do that. You may want to have just one place. And again, I'm not, unless I were able to, I'm not really trying to white label or try to interface with other apps right now. But nevertheless, I think the product market fit I'm going for is just presenting it like super convenient, super cheap. And because of the ability to speak it on your watch or speak on your phone. So I think that's the angle I'm going for. It's certainly not supposed to make your life more difficult. But I do appreciate your comments.
So, I guess the question that comes out of that now is, I give this all of my data, how does it help me with that data? Because having more data is not my problem. Doing something with the data is.
Well, if you ask right now, if you pull out your favorite AI, let's say it's ChatGPT, and you ask a question I ask a lot, how can I lose weight? It will give you a generic, well, eat less carbs. But what if you could ask the question, but you have 6 months diet saved on your phone or on the cloud, and that injects into ChatGPT? You don't have that right now. So now you're asking a far more objective question with much more context. And if AI uses that to remember you or to train or whatever, that's on the AI platform. I'm just having a convenient place for you to put your data. So, and without having to duplicate it across apps. And I think that, are you saying you have a place to put that data right now?
No, now I understand the product better. So you're pointing the AI at my data store that I own that it doesn't get to keep, because Gemini wipes it out every 30 days, which is great. I don't want that. Actually, I don't want them having my stuff forever.
Right.
So, okay, I get it better now.
So the MVP takes everything you say and saves it to your device. My prototype takes everything and saves it to a Google database called Firebase. It saves it to Firebase so that you can have that perpetually on the cloud. But the MVP right now just saves to the device, and you keep it there. And then at your leisure, at your option, you can inject that into, basically just attach it we were talking that Blenheim, we were talking token costs are just confiscatory. So right now the app is just, it just attaches a large text file based on filters that you put on it into your favorite AI. And that's how you proceed forward to answer your question from AI.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the brand name LifeLog is fantastic as a brand name for the idea of logging your life. I think is Smart Cities a previous endeavor? Is it directly? Is the name directly? Is it an umbrella over the LifeLog, or is it?
Smart City is my corporation.
Okay.
And my original envisionment was, because I work for a local government, I was writing a blockchain, a large blockchain solution. So I branded it that way.
Okay.
But I guess it holds all the I mean, we all have multiple topics we're working on.
I was just curious as how front-facing you wanted that name to be. So something that I see is the potential is huge, but also there's a lot of ambiguity. So I'm thinking about the person who doesn't necessarily there's a persona that Rob has experienced or is talking about, like, I have things I need to track and I'm losing track of them. And so, but here's the thing, not all data is meaningful. So how we what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, how we parse through it is really important. And so I would say the transformation, what is the transformation that your users looking? It's simplifying their life. It's capturing the things that they need to capture and then having them either analyzed or accessible for whatever that data is meaningful to do. So, like, as far as a minimum viable product, like, you might have your ultimate goal of all the applications that this could do, but as far as telling the story of, like, one user transformation, what would be, so walk me through, or whether now or just in the future, like, walk me through the experience that your user would have and how their pain would be resolved through the use of this type thing, you know? Just one, because it's such a big idea and such a possibility. I need a concrete example of what this transformation would look like as a consumer.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a variation besides diet, because I've talked about that. I actually am trying to be my own early adopter and using it myself. And so I go and I see my cardiologist, right? And I've had aches and pains and this and that for the last 3 months, whatever. And I get there and I can't remember that I had this or that, you know, angina or whatever. And so I use it and I'll say, hey, what should I tell the cardiologist today? And then I jack it off to ChatGPT and it summarizes it for me. Now, look, you could do the same thing if you pulled out a Google Sheets, you wrote everything down, and then you assigned a category. You could do the same thing. My goal is to make it more convenient, because I don't think you'll do that. You already told me you won't do that.
Correct.
So my goal is to make it super convenient. Okay, the barrier to entry to me to say, hey, you know, I ate a bowl of oatmeal. It's just right here. So you do it. So that's your experience. And the other one might be that I'm reading through some South Beach heart plan book right now. And it's amazing to me how you take these supplements and stuff and you start realizing what they do collectively, you know. So I'll for instance, I'm taking these supplements and I ask ChatGPT, and it's like I put them all together, what I've been taking into my app and the variations from day to day, and I ask it, and it says, well, you know, you're kind of thinning your blood more than you realize, you know. So it's that kind of pain thing that I think helps users. It's not that you don't have alternatives to do it with even something simple as an Excel spreadsheet, but will you? And that's what I'm trying to provide for users.
So there's like an assistant aspect to it. There's like a AI assistant type aspect to it. If you're asking it questions to find your data.
Even though I'm kind of my presentation looks like AI, there's no AI on it.
Okay.
This is a companion app. I set out to write a model in TensorFlow, and I realized that it was such an uphill battle that I chose to just not do that. And even so, I'll never create anything quite as complex as the big four, Grok and OpenAI. But this is, I want to stress, this is just a companion app to your favorite AI app.
All right, perfect. So what can we as the Orlando community of 1 million cups do to help you?
Well, what you can do is, again, my goal in doing these presentations is to get qualitative feedback. This is my 7th presentation, and a lot of us don't know at 1 Million Cups that there's a survey on the 1 Million Cups website. And if you click on my QR code, it not just has an ability to install it onto your iPhone and to your Android, but there is also a survey. And that's really what presenters are looking for, is qualitative feedback, the things that you didn't say to me here, because that's really the meat and potatoes of doing these presentations, the qualitative. But I'll tell you, after doing all these presentations, I'm yet to get, until I scolded Claremont 2 weeks ago, I got no no answers to my surveys. So that's the price admission. If you don't answer the survey, it's like walking out of the movie theater without paying for the ticket. But yeah, if you would please give me your qualitative feedback on the survey, so I would very much appreciate it. I do use it.
Thank you, Phil. I have to switch screens, and I'll put it up after.
Or just on the 1 Million Cups survey, I think that Eric or somebody summarizes those on the 1 Million Cups, is what I've seen. There's a survey on 1 Million Cups. I'm just saying that last week I was in Claremont, and I scolded the crowd. I got a few comments or a few answers, and Claremont summarized the feedback and then sent it to me. It was kind of handy. So yeah, that's my answer. My long answer to your short question: what can 1 Million Cups do for me?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I'll take that. So these are some of our sponsors that help us be here. Remember, 1 Million Cups is a non-for-profit, and actually we can't even take any money, period, so everything is all done through donations and help in that manner. We meet here every Wednesday. Like, follow, and share on social media. If you got any pictures or anything of today's event, please post them so that people will know that we're here and they can see how things are going out here. This is some of our organizers. If you will, raise your hand if you're one of the organizers. All right, great. If you have any questions about presenting or getting involved here, come see one of us after we're done. As we mentioned earlier, connect with someone, go grab a cup of coffee. And why? Attend, come here, apply, prepare what you're doing and present. When you get signed up, we get notified of that on the website through an email. And then what we'll do is we'll contact you. Tyler is coordinating all of that now. And he will reach out, coordinate, make sure that you have the rubric that you need, schedule a time with one of our coaches to help walk you through the process, answer any questions that you have so that you can come up and get your presentation done and share what you're doing. And this is why you want to do that, because of marketing and brand awareness. It lets us know what you're doing and you get some help on that. Practice and feedback, which is what Phil just mentioned. Complete the survey. Create strategic partnerships, which I think is a very underused situation. So many people, when I go out to networking groups and stuff, they're in the thought of what's in it for me. Sorry about that. They're in the thing, what's in it for me?
There's a slide at the beginning.
What's that?
There's a slide at the very beginning.
Yeah, I know that. I thought I turned it off. And I thought I was supposed to be done by now, but. Create strategic partnerships. So having a partnership is I call it a strategic alliance. It would be somebody that, like Jane made a great reference this morning, is where you go in the library to get information. Jane is a great person to know to help with those kind of things. We have access to resources that would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to have access to that are all free for walking into the library and say, Can I get a library card, please? Hire and retain talent. You might attract somebody that can help you, and the get to know you experience. So our closing thought, mental training is not magic. It's deliberate, intentional, and extremely hard training. Develop true mental toughness. It's not sexy. It's dirty, hard work. And if you didn't get a chance, please sign in, and I'll give you back the rest of your week. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.